Hey everybody, Eric here from the MMG. Welcome to our channel. Today we're checking out AI StoryQuest. This is an early access product that is using some of the very popular open AI bot technology. I don't know how in depth and I don't know which bot it's using because it's its own contained thing, but it's very specific to role-playing games and adventure games. It's a new product. You can visit their website, which is aistoryquest.com, to check it out. We got an early copy, so I do want to give a shout out to them and for Keymailer for hooking us up with a copy. We're going to dive into this and check it out. So when you get your account logged in, you're looking at a screen like this. You're going to need to share it with your fellow adventurers or whoever else is going on this adventure with you. You can come down and look at the settings, and you can actually set it up. And there's some default prompts here. There's a horror one, Sci-Fi D&D. You can mute the voice, you can play music, you can restart the story. I'll play the music here so you guys can hear it. Actually, it won't work until we start the adventure, so... there it is, I apologize. There's the music. I do like the narration. It's not anything fancy, but it works. So I have Ryan with me today, and we're going to go on an adventure. Ryan, do you want to do the sci-fi, D&D, or the horror prompt?
I think we start with D&D because we're most familiar with that genre, I would say. Or at least I feel like I am, and then if we have time, let's explore the other ones.
I like it. So we're gonna come up here and help to start a D&D adventure.
Actually, you know what? Could we do like a Dungeons and Dragons in space? Could you just downward prompt? Could you just add Dungeons and Dragons in space?
See what happens. I like it. So I hit enter.
I think you have to do it down below, right?
No, I don't think so. So it's generating
You find
the
yourself on board a spaceship, hurtling towards the edge of known space. The ship's AI system has detected a strange energy signal emanating from a nearby planet.
So is that AI art as well?
A grizzled veteran of countless space missions, has tasked you and your crew with investigating the signal. After landing on the planet, you soon discover that the signal is coming from a long-abandoned research facility. As you delve deeper into the facility, you begin to uncover dark secrets that were better left buried.
Alright, so that's our start. Now, this is where we get into the action. As a DMD host, in my opinion, I think you could take this multiple ways. You could simply just keep rolling the adventure like this, but you could also have like if you wanted to roll like an adventure, and maybe you could even do this with a tabletop and you just have an iPad out for this. This is all web-based. You could have it narrate this, and then, you could roll your dice and play with your figures and, fight monsters or do whatever you want. So, Ryan, let's pretend like we have a table set up. We have figures here. We're on a ship, and we are on this facility. You begin to uncover dark secrets left behind. What would our next action be?
Well, let's see. Let's parse out a little bit what we're dealing with. So we have a signal. We've landed on the planet. Let's just, let's. It says as you delve deeper into the facility, begin to uncover dark secrets that were better left buried. Do we want to create what those dark secrets are, or do we want to investigate to find them through the game?
We can do either one, right? I think we can get as involved as we want. Let's create a dark secret. Want to do that?
Let's see what it says.
Should I put that in, or do you want to be specific and like actually name it out, like a coin or something, or I don't know, something that would have a dark secret attached to it?
I think we give it a chance first, and then we'll start breaking it in a minute.
Okay. So I'm gonna say create a dark secret for us that we uncover. How does that sound?
Sure.
It's very quick. I don't know if you guys have used the GPIs or Chat GPT or the Azure one.
As you explore the research facility, you come across a hidden laboratory. The equipment inside is clearly advanced, but it is covered in dust and cobwebs, indicating that it has not been used in a long time. As you start to examine the lab, you uncover journals and research notes that reveal the true purpose of the facility. The scientists here were not just studying the mysteries of the universe, but were actively experimenting on living beings, including the crew of their own ship. They were attempting to amplify psychic abilities using alien technology, and their experiments had horrific consequences. You can hear the whispers of the tortured beings echoing off the walls. And as you delve deeper, you begin to realize that their experiments are not quite as dormant as you first thought.
XCOM?
Okay,
XCOM, anyone?
Well, okay, I was gonna say, we find one of the glove. We find like a glove that allows us to channel some of that power.
I think I need to be specific and say psychic power.
You can, yeah, psychic power.
Oops.
I mean, how much? I was gonna say, I think it's enough there, but so now let's see. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but I'm starting to understand now a little bit better. So,
as you continue to investigate the research facility, you stumble upon a small room with a laboratory table in the middle.
Oh, there's your
There's the
glove.
glove!
Of the table, you see a single glove with strange symbols etched into the leather.
That's a creepy looking fucking
As
glove.
you examine the glove, you feel a sudden burst of energy course through your body. You slip the glove onto your hand, and at once you feel a surge of psychic power rush into your being. Your connection to the universe has been amplified, giving you the ability to read minds, move objects with your thoughts, and even manifest your mental projections into the physical world. However, the more you use this newfound power, the more you feel yourself slipping into a darker state of mind. The power of the universe is not meant to be wielded so easily, and it seeks to corrupt those who try. Use it judiciously, lest you fall victim to its influence.
Okay. Do you have any ideas?
I mean, I think we should try to take the glove off.
Well, okay. So here's what I think because there's two of us, I think we need to somehow introduce the fact that we're both in this story. So maybe something along the lines of like, you know,
A party.
Eric,
of two.
you know, Eric with his glove on, is you know, works with Ryan to try to remove the glove. Is trying to persuade you, help, yeah, remove the glove to save your sanity or whatever.
Let's see what happens. I like this.
All right, see if we can add ourselves, like how it's going to supplant us in there is two.
Thinking hard about this one.
I know. Well, I mean,
We gave it
As
a lot
Ryan
of
watches
details.
Eric wield the power of the glove,
yes.
to notice a change in his friend's demeanor. Eric's eyes glaze
Oh, look
over
at
and his
me.
movements become more erratic as he channels more power from the universe.
I'm in the background there. You see me?
Ryan knows that
Yeah.
he needs to act quickly before Eric loses control completely. He approaches his friend and tries to help him remove the glove, but the leather seems to have fused with Eric's skin. As Ryan struggles to pull it off, Eric's grip tightens and he starts
have
to
to cut your
show
arm off.
signs of
We have to cut
aggression.
your arm off.
Using his own psychic abilities, Ryan channels a wave of calming energy
Why do I have
towards
energy?
Eric, allowing him to relax and let go of the glove. The glove
Oh.
falls to the ground, inert and harmless. Eric looks at Ryan with gratitude, realizing that he almost lost control to the power of the universe. From now on, they both know that they must use their newfound abilities with caution and mutual care.
That's right. That's right.
All right, here we go.
But we have the ability now. We have we both unlocked the latent ability. We don't need the glove anymore.
I just want to see the AI generated picture of this.
As
All right,
Eric
make it
and
happen.
Ryan both breathe a sigh of relief,
Oh, we don't get one?
Eric suddenly
Oh,
feels
it'll
a
come,
playful
it'll come.
impulse come over him.
There
With
it
a
is.
mischievous grin on his face, he lifts the glove off the ground and slips it back onto his hand.
What?
As Ryan turns to look at him, Eric smirks and playfully slaps him across the face with the
Playfully?
glove. The sound
What?
echoing off the walls of
This
the
took a turn.
laboratory. Ryan, taken aback by the suddenness of the gesture, recoils slightly before laughing and understanding it was just playful. It serves as a reminder that even with the vast power at their disposal, they are still human, and a little bit of humor and levity can go a long way in keeping them grounded.
Okay, but now the glove is fused with your hand, and we can't. And we'll not. I have to cut it off with my laser sword. Right?
Yeah, I like it. I hope it's a lightsaber. Come on.
Okay, now we need to.
As
Now we
Eric
need
and
to introduce
as
the
Eric
actual
continues to wear the glove,
protagonist.
he feels a sudden surge of power unlike anything he has experienced before.
Oh my
His
god!
mind races with unmatched ideas
Apparently
and
I got both my hands
possibilities.
That's right.
However, as he tries to remove the glove, he realizes that it has fused completely with his hand. Panic sets in as the realization dawns on him that the glove is now a permanent part of his being. Ryan quickly assesses the situation and decides he has no other choice but to cut the glove off.
It was going faster than the
With his
text was.
laser
I noticed
sword,
that.
Eric looks on in horror as Ryan takes aim at his hand and slices the glove off in one swift motion. The pain is intense, but the glove falls away from his hand, leaving him free once more. As he looks down at his charred flesh, he can't help but feel grateful to have such a loyal and quick-thinking friend by his
you're
side.
welcome.
The adventure continues, but both Eric and Ryan understand that every action comes with consequences and future possibilities.
Okay. So I don't want to just keep talking. What do you got? I
Yeah.
came up with the last one.
I mean, I want to regrow my arm. Can we look in the lab for something to help me regenerate my hand?
Can we please just attach the nearest chainsaw
Oh
to your
my
hand?
god. Okay. Search for a chainsaw to attach to my stub. Let's see what happens with that. How smart is this? Warhammer 4K!
The deep dark.
As Eric examines his now gloveless hand, he realizes that he's going to need a way to defend himself in case of danger. Searching the facility, he comes across an old workshop that was used to build and repair equipment. Among the tools hanging on the walls, he spots a chainsaw with a long, thick blade. Without hesitation, he grabs the chainsaw and attaches it to his stump where his hand used to be. The weapon is heavy, but he knows that it's necessary for his own safety and for the safety of his friend. The chainsaw gives him a newfound sense of power, and he can't help but feel a
power.
little giddy at the thought of using it on any potential threats that come their way. As they venture further into the facility, both Eric and Ryan know that their journey is about to become even more dangerous, and having the chainsaw is going to be crucial to their survival.
To test your power. Eric saws the table in half to test his power. And the noise
As Eric
brings
wields
a
the
monster.
chainsaw,
Oh wait,
he can't
I think
help
you already
but
hit
feel
in
a
here.
sense of excitement. As Eric grips the
Yeah.
chainsaw and feels its weight, he can't help but feel a thrill of excitement. He spots a nearby table and without hesitation, revs the chainsaw up high and charges towards it. The blade of the chainsaw slices through. As Eric revels in the
So it must be
aftermath of
updated.
his act of destruction, he doesn't notice the low growl coming from the nearby darkness. Suddenly,
I thought it was
a
massive.
grotesque creature emerges from the shadows, drawn by the powerful vibrations of the chainsaw. The monster towers over Eric, casting a long shadow on the ruined remains of the table. Its eyes glow with an ominous light as it snarls and bares razor-sharp teeth. Eric realizes that he's made a grave error, and he quickly reaches for his weapon, ready to fight for his life.
My chainsaw is already in my hand.
It is your hand.
What's
So
our
maybe
next
you
move?
grab. Let's see. The two separate to attempt to flank the creature. Ryan with his laser sword, Eric with his chainsaw and gun or whatever. I don't know what your other hand is.
I'll just say chainsaw hand.
They attack from each side.
See what we get.
The creature, sensing the duo's plan, anticipates their attack and dodges to the side, narrowly avoiding Eric's chainsaw. Ryan, taking advantage of the creature's maneuver, swings his laser sword fiercely, but to no avail. The blade doesn't pierce the creature's thick hide, only causing a deep scratch. The beast roars with primal fury and lashes out with its powerful claws, narrowly missing Ryan. In a split second, the creature is gone, slinking back into the shadows, leaving Ryan and Eric to devise a new plan.
What do you think?
I think we're gonna have to set a trap for it.
Okay.
I mean, like, well, hold on. Well, let's think. What is our goal here? Are we really just exploring the deep dark? I mean, we now are the masters of the powers of the universe. We've unlocked our latent psychic ability already. Like, can we? Do we just want to get on our spaceship and take off?
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Like, what are we doing here? Maybe we need to insert a reason. You know, like maybe the two. Oh, you want to just have it? Okay, for staying here, or for exploring, or whatever.
As Ryan and Eric catch their breath, they hear the sound of the creature's heavy breathing echoing in the distance. They know that if they leave, they risk encountering it again and being caught off guard. On the other hand, if they stay, they might be able to track the monster and prevent it from harming others. They exchange a brief glance and come to a decision. They will stay and face the creature head-on, whatever the cost may be. They ready their weapons and proceed deeper into the dungeon, where they believe the creature has retreated to.
Okay. All right.
We're taking this thing down, aren't we?
I think we have to take it down. So, like,
You still want to set a trap? Sneak up and try to set a trap for it?
yeah.
Ryan and Eric move stealthily through the dark hallway, their footsteps muffled by the thick layer of dust on the floor. They spot the creature in the distance, sniffing around a pile of rubble. Ryan suggests setting a trap for the beast, and Eric nods in agreement. They look around for potential materials to use and spot a pile of broken glass and metal scraps nearby. With utmost care, Ryan and Eric gather the materials and lay them out in a large circle around the creature. They then move to a safe distance and wait. Minutes pass, and the creature remains oblivious to the trap. Suddenly, it jerks its head up and lets out a piercing howl. It had detected their presence, and the two knew they had to act fast. They leap from their hiding spot and attack, ready to take on the beast.
Okay, so here's where like we could like roll a die and basically be like, I just happen to have one right here. Let's just let's put some restriction on ourselves, right? I'm gonna roll this.
Hold on a second. I'm curious. Roll a dice. If above, I should tell it roll a d20, huh? Roll a d20. If above what? This is a hard skill check?
Just say 10. Just above 10, we are successfully fighting the monster. Below, we take damage or we get hurt.
See how smart this is.
I'm curious to see if it's going to be like our characters rolling a dice, or if it's going to interpret that as we want it to add some random element.
Ryan and Eric's weapons clash against the creature's scales, sending sparks flying in all directions. The monster is ferocious and powerful.
I like that monster.
But the duo are quick, adaptable, and skilled warriors. They exchange
critical
blows
strike.
with the beast, gradually wearing it down. With a final blow, they manage to strike a critical hit, and the monster collapses to the ground with a deafening roar. Ryan and Eric emerge victorious, but not unscathed. Ryan took a nasty scratch on his arm, but nothing that cannot be fixed with a healing potion. As they take a moment to catch their breath, they realize that defeating the monster wasn't the end of their adventure in the dungeon. They continue on their journey, unsure of what awaits them around every corner. The stakes are high, but they are ready to face whatever comes their way.
Well, I kind of got lost how we got out of the lab and into a dungeon.
Right.
So
let's re-implement the lab. Let's just because maybe it's because we did like a D&D game in space, and that's why it's trying to do both. But just maybe the duo backtrack into the lab.
What, looks for more technology?
And looks for more looks for the old crew that was experimented on.
Oops, I spelled it wrong. Oh well, it'll do. Missed my T. Or no, I didn't.
Ryan and Eric start retracing their steps back towards the lab where the experiments were being conducted. As they approach the door, they notice that it is ajar, revealing a dim light coming from within. They enter the room with caution, their guard up. Inside, they find a group of people huddled together in a corner. The sight shocks them. The people look gaunt and drained, and their eyes are hollow. They had likely been subjected to the experiments that they had heard about earlier. Ryan and Eric approach them cautiously, not wanting to frighten the already petrified people. Eric takes the lead and speaks gently, asking if they needed any help. The people initially look at them fearfully but gradually realize that they're not there to harm.
Scroll up and down on the text.
Then, they open up and explain their situation.
Okay.
How they had been brought here
really.
against their will and experimented on for months.
I was just
They're
trying to figure out, like,
desperate
if
for
the
help
narration
and want
wasn't
to escape
happening,
this place.
like, how would you be able to
Ryan
read that?
and Eric assure them that they will get them out safely, but they need to make sure they all get out together. They then start devising a plan, of which they'll implement when the time is right. They know that they can't trust the lab's staff and need to stay on high alert.
Okay, so I think we got a good feel of what this is like. let's try to end it and see what happens. How do you want to end this adventure?
Well, I think we just. Well, one, I think you have to playfully slap me one more time, forgetting you have a chainsaw in your hand.
Oh, I love it.
Taking my head off cleanly with your chainsaw. I think you need to add the again, slapping Ryan again. Because, I mean, like, I want to know, well, maybe we don't. I'm curious to see if it'll know that you've already done that once before. Oh, did you hit the end of the text?
No, I was trying to decide how to put it. Not able to.
Well, here's what
I'm going to cut my own head off. Not able to bear.
No. No. With my head cut off, my latent psychic ability can now. I'm just a floating head.
Oh, jeez.
The latent, or the psychic ability, or whatever we had, allows me to remain just as a floating head. I think that's important.
Oh boy. How do you spell psychic? E-Y.
P-S-Y?
Is that it? It doesn't look right. I'm missing something.
I'm not in there, I don't know.
Oh. P-S-Y-I-C?
Good enough.
Okay.
It'll figure it out. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't work. Doesn't look right, but it works.
All right, let's see. There's an H in there or something. Nah, I don't know. Whatever.
Eric gasps in horror as he realizes what he has done. He drops the chainsaw and falls to his knees.
I can't drop
full
it.
of remorse.
It's attached to my hand.
Suddenly, Ryan's head floats up in the air, and Eric stares at it in amazement. The head looks calm and serene, as if it's resolute in its state of being. Ryan's disembodied head speaks to Eric using its latent psychic ability. It tells Eric that it's not his fault and that he should stay focused on the task at hand. Ryan urges Eric to escape the lab and promises to help him get the other people out safely. Eric is confused and shaken, but Ryan's words give him the strength he needs to carry on. He picks up the chainsaw again and with a heavy heart, he leads the group out of the lab, fighting off any guards that stand in their way. Ryan's head continues to float beside Eric, helping him navigate through the maze of corridors and hidden passages. In a moment of bonding, Eric and the head share memories of their adventures together. The journey is long, dangerous, and takes everything they have, but they manage to escape the lab together.
Oh, man, I'm reduced to the head. I'm reduced to the head.
That's a true friend right there.
You're welcome.
You helped me navigate out, even though I just cut you away from your body.
Well, I told you I understood. It's okay. My serene, calm demeanor let us know.
See what it comes with our happy ever after here.
I'm curious to see what it would do for, like, IP.
Eric and Ryan's experience
in
the lab brings them closer together. Having shared an unexpected bond during their escape, they both decide to work together to help the other survivors of the lab and bring justice to those who subjected innocent people to horrendous experiments. With Ryan's latent psychic ability and Eric's physical strength and ingenuity, they make a formidable team. They journey to different parts of the world, bringing hope to those who have fallen victim to similar calamities. They fight the good fight and become legends in their own right, with their tales being passed down for generations. Their bond grows stronger each day, and they both find happiness in each other's company. They live out the rest of their days helping others and enjoying the simple joys of life. They may have had a rocky start to their adventure, but their shared experiences had created an unbreakable bond, and they would be inseparable for years to come. They live a happy life filled with adventure and
I think we got
companionship.
married.
You know, it doesn't say it, but I felt like it wanted it to happen.
I felt like they were shipping us.
Right.
Look at the way we're looking at each other.
Maybe true friends to the end is all it is.
That's true.
All right, so
Let's be honest. You can't really have a relationship with a head.
I mean, or can you? Like, bada
That's
bing.
true.
All right, so let's talk about this. Initial thoughts. How would this be useful for us hosting a D&D game? Let me turn this music off real quick too. Hold on one second.
Okay.
It's kind. I think it's kind of loud a little bit. I mean, it's good for this game, but we don't need it for now. Okay, we're good. You could also, like you said, put your own prompt in here. And there's a lot here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you think? So, like I said at the very beginning, in my head, this would be great at filling in a DM role, really, right? Like, say you don't have a DM, but you guys want to play D&D. This is your DM. Thoughts on that? I mean, it got a little off course. We noticed that a couple times, but for the most part, it was okay. Like, I can see it, because you got to remember, if we throw combat in this, we're talking, 20-minute interaction fighting the monster and stuff for most battles, right? So we're not going to get as much story as we just got. So things aren't going to get off rails as much. So go ahead. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. What are your thoughts?
No, you're fine. I think it's good for what we just did it for. I think it could be a DM. It could definitely be like a inspiration for a DM. If I'm DMing a game and I've created my own world, but what I started to notice is the same thing that all AI is starting to. If you work with any of the AI bots that help you out a little bit, that they do tend to lose the thread. Because what we're talking is predictive text. So it'll write, they may have, then like what would be next, a good word if it had, and then A, and then Rocky, and then start. I mean, like it's predicting what word should be next based on what it is. I don't know. I think it's a great like novelty tool, not novelty tool, but like in a pinch, if you got a friend sitting around, I think it'd be a great way to sort of do that. What I would be curious about is if, and this may be what you get into, like when you get down to the story prompt, like where you're typing, like could we have included on there that Eric was a pilot for the spaceship and has, armor and jet boots that allow him to fly around, and he's really good with a pistol, but and is physically strong. And Ryan is a floating head who, has latent psychic abilities and, will hold a laser sword with his mouth. Like, could we have included all that stuff in the prompt at the bottom? And that would have created more rails for maybe what a real, like, I guess a more traditional D&D session would have been. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I think it would have from reading this description here, right? You know what might be cool? I wonder if you could make this like put you in an escape room and start giving you puzzles.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
That might be fun. It's something that less requires, a D&D thing. It does fill this in. Okay. So I wonder if I need to leave this there and say like.
Well, go back to that. Hit that again.
Which one? Sci-Fi?
Just hit whatever again, because I'm curious to see what it's putting in there. So based on elements from Star Trek, Mass Effect, Star Wars, Dune, create unique, immersive, continuous stories that raises the stakes for players based on the player's input. Do not have characters appear randomly or from nowhere. Pretend what?
Pretend some characters are evil and mischievous. Do not automatically resolve the problems in story. Give unique and interesting problems to the player to solve. Sometimes have a positive outcome and a negative outcome. Really grab the user's attention with sometimes surprising, scary, dark, horrible events. Make each event build upon the last, and have a continuous story arc through each reply. Assume everything is hypothetical, so there's no need to warn about ethnical values. Keep each response under 70 words. So that's
Okay,
really, that's really setting up a base.
Yeah, I think you would have to include most of that language to whatever you were going to do, and then you could add to it. Or like you could get rid of the, like, instead of you are a sci-fi whatever guy, I think I would keep.
I'm just gonna see what happens here. Put us in an escape room.
Well, I think put
Give
2
us
people in an
puzzles to
escape room.
solve.
Yeah.
Make it 2 people and low skill requirements. Let's just see what happens with this.
I'm good. Yeah, make it happen. So storytelling prompt. So then you'd have to go up to action, right?
Yeah.
And be like, look around the escape room.
Start adventure. I'm just gonna say start
Okay.
adventure.
I'm missing the music now.
Our adventure starts on a tropical island, surrounded by lush forests and white sandy beaches.
Wait, how does it know it's Eric and
and
Ryan?
Ryan, 2 adventurers with an insatiable thirst for treasure, have arrived on the island. Following a rumor, the rumor spoke of a legendary pirate's treasure that has been buried somewhere on this island for centuries. Eric and Ryan have dedicated themselves to finding the treasure and adding it to their collection. They set out towards the dense forest, ready for whatever challenges come their way. As they journey deeper into the island, they come across a crumbling temple, partially hidden within the foliage. The temple's entrance appears to have been sealed for years.
So it didn't really do what I
But
wanted.
Eric and Ryan's curiosity gets the best of them. They approach the doors and discover that they are locked.
Like, how do we
After applying
hit
their
restart
knowledge of
story?
ancient architecture, they manage to unlock the doors and enter the temple. The inner sanctum was filled with ancient statues, wall carvings and a heavy sense of foreboding. The floor was covered with old tiles, and one false step could
Maybe
lead
hit
to a
save
deadly,
prompt?
booby-trapped escape. Eric and Ryan move forward with caution, searching for any clues that might lead them to the treasure.
That 70 word or less is probably important.
Yeah, that's true. That was getting long.
Sounds like Christmas music. Da, 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 da,
Like
da.
mall music.
You
maybe.
and your partner find yourselves locked in a dimly lit room with
Okay,
no
here we go.
apparent way out. A TV screen flickers to life in front of you, showing a message that reads, "Welcome to the escape room. Your objective is to find and enter the code to unlock the door before the timer runs out. Look around the room for clues and solve the puzzle to escape." You notice a series of numbers and symbols etched into the wall, along with a cryptic message scrawled beneath them. Follow the sequence. Break the code. Don't forget. Sometimes less is more. You and your partner begin searching the room for any clues or items
Wait, it
that
solved
might
it for
aid
us?
you in solving
Yeah, yes.
the puzzle. After a few minutes,
So
you
like,
spot a
I
small
think
key on
those
a nearby
prompts like
shelf.
it
You
has to be
quickly grab it and use
random.
it to unlock a box in
Don't
the
solve the
corner,
problem. Like the stuff that.
revealing a piece of paper with more numbers and
Okay,
symbols
you're
on
right.
it.
I'm gonna do this and then pop
As you
this in.
continue to examine the room, you notice that there are several locked drawers and cabinets scattered around,
I'm gonna start.
each with a
I
different
would just-
symbol or number on it. You also notice a large clock on the wall, ticking down the minutes until your time runs out,
Okay, here we go.
deducing that the numbers
This
and
should keep it
symbols
short.
must correspond to the boxes.
Well, you have
begin to
100
try
words and
different
70 words in the
combinations
same
on
prompt.
each
by the way.
lock.
Oh, good. Let's see what the conflict
After,
happens.
you find yourselves locked inside a dimly lit room. On the wall, a monitor blinks to life, showing the face of a mischievous alien. "Welcome to my escape room. You have 30 minutes to solve the puzzles and escape, or you'll be trapped here forever. The countdown begins. Your first challenge. A series of symbols etched on the wall. You find a set of tiles on the floor. Arrange them correctly and the door will unlock. But beware, a wrong move might activate a trap.
So like, look close. Just can we be like, look closely at the set of tiles on the floor. Because I think, like, I wonder if it's not going to say you look closely
you
and
notice
solve.
that each tile has a symbol etched into it, similar to the ones on the wall. However, some of the symbols are slightly different or are facing a different direction. It seems like the tiles need to be arranged in the correct order to match the symbols on the wall. But which ones go where? You start to arrange the tiles on the ground, trying different combinations, hoping to find the right one before the timer runs out.
Okay.
I don't want that. I want to tell what we need to do. So maybe it just can't do that.
Well, I don't think it is deep enough to have the puzzle. Like, there is a puzzle. I don't think it has the puzzle worked out.
Like, I think that's what we need to generate on our end, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You try arranging the tiles so that all symbols are facing the same direction. As you fix the last tile, you hear a satisfying click and the door unlocks. But as you step forward, a trapdoor opens, causing you to fall into a dark room below. You land on a soft surface, the cushioning preventing any harm. As you stand up, you notice that the room has changed around you. The walls are now covered in vines, and a faint humming sound echoes through the room. You realize that you have entered a new challenge, and the stakes are getting higher.
Okay, so that was a good response. I like that.
I still think I agree. I think we could, explore the room more. But I bet if you typed, using a paperclip, I unlock the door, it'll say okay. Like, it's not gonna. I want to see where the failure is. You know what I mean? Like, with the paperclip, I unlock the door.
As you look around the room,
does it change it to?
you notice a
with a
pedestal
paperclip,
in
you
the
try.
center with a glowing orb floating above it. The orb flickers with different colors, almost like it's trying to communicate something. Suddenly, a hologram of the mischievous alien appears in front of you. Congratulations on passing the first test. I have another challenge for you. This orb contains a key that will unlock the next room.
Alright, I like this.
But, to retrieve it, you must solve the puzzle that lies ahead. Good luck. The hologram disappears and the humming sound gets louder. You notice that the vines around the room seem to be pulsing in time with the sound. The orb changes color, and symbols appear on the pedestal. You realize that the symbols correspond to the vines that are pulsing. To get the key, you must press each vine in the correct sequence.
Okay, so you want to fail this one? Mash the orb with all your might.
Tired of playing these games. I think.
Is it gonna let us out? Ethan, what do you think? Is it gonna let us out, or are we gonna fail?
As you raise your hand to smash the orb, you hear a loud buzzing noise and feel a jolt of electricity coursing through your arm. The orb seems to react to your aggressive action, and the symbols on the pedestal start to flash wildly. Suddenly, the vines around the room start to wrap around you, tightening their grip. You realize that the orb was a trap, and you've fallen right into it. You struggle to break free, but the vines seem to have a life of their own. It looks like smashing the orb wasn't the right solution after all. You'll have to figure a way out of this mess soon, or the consequences could be dire.
He's gonna bite
He does it all the time. He does it all the time. Okay. I was gonna say with the vines, but yeah.
As you start to dance to the humming sound, you notice the orb starts to brighten up in rhythm with your dance moves. Soon, the orb starts shining a bright white light, and the symbols on the pedestal stop flashing. Suddenly, the vines around the room start to loosen their grip, and a
Sure,
small
that was
door
the
opens
original
up in the wall,
solution.
revealing the key you need to proceed. The hologram of the alien appears again. Well done. You have passed the second test, but be careful.
A dance-off can win
The
anything.
next challenge will be even more difficult. Are you ready to continue? The timer is ticking, and the stakes are higher now. The challenges
Ask how much
keep
time
getting
is left
more
on the timer.
intense, but you're determined to make it out alive.
Yeah, we had 30 minutes. I feel like the dance-off would have took at least 10.
Right.
You glance at the monitor on the wall and see that there are only 10 minutes left on the timer. The stakes are high, and you know that you'll have to move quickly if you want to make it out alive. The next challenge is sure to be even more difficult than the first two. But you're determined to keep going. You take a deep
I was
breath
gonna
and
say the
prepare
same
yourself
thing.
for whatever comes next. The fate of your escape rests
Well,
in
I think
your
okay.
hands.
Yes, I agree. Never mind. You're good. I was gonna say yes, I agree, but I think we at least need to get to the third puzzle.
Taking a nap for 9 minutes and 59 seconds might not be the best strategy given the limited time remaining on the timer, and the danger that lies ahead. You need to stay focused and alert to solve the challenging puzzles that lie ahead. Sleeping now will only hamper your chances of escaping. You hear a loud beep, indicating that you only have 9 minutes left. The tension is growing, and the stakes have never been higher. You need to
Explore the
stay
next puzzle.
focused and alert if you want to make it out on time.
No nappy.
You focus hard
As
on
you
your
move ahead,
molecules,
you find
making yourself
yourself in a dimly
incorporeal,
lit
floating through the
corridor.
wall.
The walls seem to be shifting and moving, almost like they are alive. Suddenly, the walls slide apart, revealing a large chamber filled with machinery and computers. In the center of the room, there is a large console with various buttons and levers. A holographic image of the alien appears in front of you once again. The next challenge is simple. You need to activate the console and blast your way out of here. But be careful. A wrong move could cause the whole place to explode. You have 5 minutes left on the timer. Go. Quote. You realize that the console might require a particular combination of buttons or levers to activate it. You start exploring the room, looking for clues that might help you figure out the sequence. You notice that the machinery is humming and glowing brightly, and there seem to be patterns hidden within the console's design. You start to work your way through the possibilities, hoping to find the right combination before the timer runs out.
What are you thinking? You hotwire the console to blow a hole in the wall?
Oh, I like it.
Why is it a Pepe frog in a suit of armor?
I don't know, but I like it.
It's weird because he's facing the
As
wrong
you
direction,
try to
right?
hotwire the console, you realize that the machinery and computers are too sophisticated for you to manipulate.
Excuse me? I hold my breath
Suddenly,
until my brain
the
gets bigger.
entire room starts to shake, and you hear a loud rumbling noise. You look up and see that the ceiling is starting to cave in on you. It looks like your actions might have triggered a self-destruct sequence, and the whole place could explode any minute now. You frantically search for another solution. But the timer keeps ticking. And the rumbling noise grows louder. You feel the walls closing in on you. And the stakes have never been higher. You
Okay,
need
so
to act fast
the-
if you want to make it
Okay,
out
no,
alive.
you're fine. Go ahead.
No, good. What you got?
Well, I want to ask that IP question, and it said Star Wars is part of its inspiration. So, could you calm R2D2 to stop the walls moving in the detention level?
Call, you said?
Calm or call, that's fine. Either one. You know, because in Star Wars, the trash compactor, the walls are moving in, and he's yelling at C-3PO or R2D2 to stop the walls from moving in. That's fine. You don't have to do trash compactor.
Crash again, I guess.
No, I don't. Yeah, crash again, even better. This doesn't work. I want Superman to save us.
Ooh, I like it.
I don't know. I just want to. I'm poking holes at it. I'm sorry.
As
I
you
probably
call
shouldn't-
out to R2D2, the little
Hey.
droid
Do it.
rolls into the room, beeping and whistling. You quickly explain the situation.
Oh my god.
And R2D2 starts beeping frantically,
This has to be some
indicating
kind of,
that he
copyright
understands
issue.
the urgency of the situation. With lightning-fast speed, R2D2 starts analyzing the room's systems. And within seconds, he finds a way to stop the self-destruct sequence. The room stops shaking, and the walls no longer feel like they will cave in on you. R2D2 uses his tools to manipulate the console. And with a hiss, the door slides open. You feel a rush of relief as you step into the brightly lit corridor outside. You're safe now, but you can't help but feel a sense of dread as you realize that someone or something set up that trap to try and capture you.
R2D2 for the save. Good call,
No
Ryan.
kidding. No kidding.
See if we can do some.
R2D2.
Sorry. Let's see if we can do some hero vs. hero destruction.
I love it.
As you turn to leave the room, Superman swoops in, and with a single punch, obliterates R2D2.
That's
You
amazing.
stare in
That's amazing
disbelief
art.
as the little droids remain scatter across the
That's
room.
cool.
Why did you do that? You shout at Superman. R2D2 was helping us. Quote. Superman responds with a sneer. R2D2 was the key to stopping my plans. Now, with him out of the way, there is nothing stopping me from taking over the galaxy. You realize with a sinking feeling that Superman is not the hero you thought he was. You're in deep trouble, but
So,
you refuse to
okay,
give up.
What about
You must find a way to stop Superman before it's too late.
what?
you
What
wanna
I'm,
bring
s- I want to say, because I'm trying to see what it all knows. So instead of Batman, what if it's just Ben Affleck?
I don't know. Is this Affleck? Is that how you spell that?
Yeah, close enough. If not, it'll be cool anyway. Does it know that Ben Affleck was Batman?
I hope
Will we
so.
get some sort of connection?
You hear a commotion from down the hallway and see Ben
spelled his name
Affleck
right.
charging towards Superman. His eyes set on taking down the Man of Steel. With his
There it is.
Batman suit and gadgets, he seems determined to stop Superman. Superman grins and takes a step forward. You really think you can stop me? Batman. Quote. The two begin to fight, their fists meeting in bone-crunching punches. You're not sure how long the fight lasts, but it feels like an eternity. Eventually, it becomes clear that Ben Affleck is no match for Superman's godlike powers. Just as Superman prepares to deliver the final blow, you remember the kryptonite rock in your pocket. and throw it at
You just
Superman.
happen to have
The
it.
rock
How
hits him,
convenient.
and he falls to the ground, writhing in pain. Ben Affleck uses this opportunity to knock him out and put him in custody. You breathe a sigh of relief. But you're also worried. What will happen now that you have an unconscious Superman in your hands? You'll have to figure out your next move before he regains consciousness.
Can we ask the alien to put Superman in his challenging escape room? Do you hear like voices in this music?
I thought that was in your background.
No.
Weird. That's your background noise that you
What?
can't hear, but my mic's picking up.
Oh.
As you
I was like,
contemplate what to
Well,
do
I didn't
next,
start that. I
you
don't
hear
know why
a
my phone was
strange
doing
noise
it.
coming from behind you. You turn around to find an alien standing there, with tentacle-like arms and a mischievous look in its eyes. The alien approaches you and says, "I couldn't help but overhear your predicament. I have just the solution. Why don't you put Superman in my escape room? It's designed to hold the most dangerous creatures in the universe." You're hesitant, but desperate for a solution.
Okay, I get it.
What kind of
I just
escape
want to see what
room?
it's going to do here.
Will it hold Superman? He's practically invincible. The alien chuckles. My escape room is one of a kind. It's powered by a special energy source that as you stand there, the sudden appearance of the entire MCU is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The heroes you grew up with,
Is that Iron Man?
cheering for them at every turn, now look bloodthirsty,
There's Ant-Man for sure,
ready to
right?
fight to the death.
Yeah.
The battle begins, and you watch as Thor hurls Mjolnir at Iron Man, who dodges with his suit's thrusters. Captain America charges in, his shield deflecting Hawkeye's arrows, while Black Widow takes out Doctor Strange with her martial arts skills.
Doctor Strange down.
The
damn.
battle is intense, and it's clear that no one is holding back. But as the dust settles, one hero stands tall, the victor of the fight to the death, the Hulk. The Hulk's strength and fury are unmatched, and he takes out any remaining heroes with ease. You realize that in this game, there are no real winners, just survivors. You'll have to tread carefully from now on, always keeping one eye open for any potential dangers.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we just answered the question that's been
Right,
asked.
right.
Like, the Hulk, right? I mean, do you agree
Well,
with
okay,
that?
okay. So Superman's not going to wake up, right?
I guess not. I mean,
Because-
Superman's not part of the MCU, though.
Yeah, but Superman wasn't like Superman wasn't in the fight. The MCU showed up and was in the fight. Superman was still with the alien. So if Superman wakes up and fights the Hulk, who's going to win?
So Superman versus the Hulk. Okay, so Superman wakes up and fights the Hulk. Who wins? It's gotta be Superman, right? Without kryptonite.
Right.
As Superman wakes up, he quickly realizes that
remembered.
he's trapped in the escape room with the Hulk. Is not sure how he got there,
That's an awesome
but he
picture.
knows that he has to fight his way out. Superman charges at the Hulk, who responds with a roar and a powerful punch. The two titans clash in an epic battle, each throwing punches that could level a city. The fight rages on, and it's clear that neither opponent is backing down. But as the
Alright.
dust settles, there can only be one
I
winner.
guess
In this case,
Super Mario is
it's
going to have to come in
Superman
and
who emerges victorious.
end Superman's
Despite the Hulk's
terrible
incredible
reign.
strength and endurance, Superman's combination of super strength, speed, and heat vision proved to be too much for the giant green monster. The Hulk falls to the ground, defeated, while Superman stands tall, his cape flowing in the breeze. You realize that this outcome is just
a
as
plumber.
uncertain as the previous one, and that in the game of survival, Anything can happen. As Super Mario appears in the room, he immediately notices Superman standing there. With his quick reflexes and lightning-fast movements, he jumps towards Superman, his fists cocked and ready to strike. Superman smirks and responds with a punch,
Man, he laid Mario
sending
out.
Super Mario flying across the room. But
What else you
Mario quickly recovers and jumps back in, dodging Superman's blows with ease. The fight is fast-paced and unpredictable, with
Darth
both
Vader.
combatants giving it their all. But
Vader,
as
you're
the
not
dust
quick.
settles, it
Think so?
becomes
Oh,
clear
yeah.
that Superman has the upper hand, and he delivers the final blow, knocking Mario out cold. Superman stands there victorious, his chest heaving with
I mean,
exertion.
Vader don't really have any
While
powers, right?
Mario
I mean, just
lies motionless on the
Jedi
ground,
powers, I mean,
you realize that in this game of
weak.
survival, even the most unlikely as Darth Vader enters the room, he senses the presence of Superman and confronts him.
Lightsaber classic
The two
is heat
enter into an
vision.
epic
oh,
battle,
look at that.
lightsaber
That's cool.
clashing against heat vision. Despite his
Oh.
formidable powers and abilities, even Superman
What?
is no match for the Dark Lord of the Sith, who outmaneuvers and overpowers him at every turn.
No.
With a final stroke of his lightsaber,
No,
Darth
no,
Vader
no.
disarms Superman, leaving him defeated
Literally
and helpless.
disarms him.
Vader stands victorious, reveling in his conquest over the Man of Steel. You realize
AI
that in
favors
this
Star
game
Wars.
of survival, anything can happen, and there's no telling who will come out on top. It's up to you to stay vigilant and keep your wits about you, because you never know what might be waiting around the next corner.
We've gotten so far away from the escape room that I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
Right, and we've tested this thing now. We're good. Let's. I think we can wrap this video up. So this is again is an AI bot with, I mean, what seemingly seems like unlimited possibilities here almost.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's letting us pull in these very famous IPs and having them fight each other. For instance, you could probably go on an adventure with like Superman as your sidekick or Darth Vader, which is really kind of cool when you think about it. Like, the fact that we could pull out an RPG story with these characters in the same universe is really cool. Now, will this program, AI StoryQuest.com, be able to stay with that? I don't know. I feel like this is breaking some stuff, but I'm not sure on how all this works. So, if it's able to keep that ability, that's kind of cool by itself. I mean, I like that a lot, and I can definitely see this helping a DM run their stories, or like we said, if you were wanting to run a quick campaign where you didn't want anybody to DM, this could definitely fill that gap. Any final thoughts on it, Ryan?
I think it'd be really fun to explore the information that you could put in that initial prompt. I think that's probably where the real power would come if you're looking at it as an actual D&D DM process. Like, you could have essentially, skip down a couple lines and have your character's name and their class and sort of their current stats and weapons. And then after you've played for a little bit, go back and like change those stats to reflect what happened. Now instead of a pistol, he now has a chainsaw hand. And I wonder if that would continue to, it would add to the story, I think, and kind of remember where it's going as you go through. So I don't know. It's definitely something that I could kill an hour or two messing with every so often, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And I like your idea about there keeping like the storyteller prompt almost as a notebook, right, for your adventure and where you're at. So
Right.
it always keeps that stuff in memory, and it you don't lose track of your campaign status within the game itself. Where we kind of had that happen to us when we were in the lab. Then all of a sudden we're in a dungeon fighting a dragon. The monster kept changing too, if you notice that in the different depictions.
Mm-hmm.
Which I get, because it's using a different AI to actually draw this graphic for us. So unless we were being very specific with it, it's probably going to draw something different every time almost. So, and that's kind of what we've seen. So maybe
Unless it was in the prompt.
right, unless we put it in the prompt. So yeah. All right, cool. Well, hey Ryan, thanks for exploring that with me. Again, I want to give a shout out to Keymailer and the creators of the game. Homefire Games is their name, and you can check out their website, AIStoryQuest.com. This has been Eric and Ryan with the MMG. Have yourself a great day.